Good morning, good morning, good morning. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Let me say what's up. Literary Situation. Barbara D, the beautiful Barbara D. Joshua Roberts, good morning. Kentrell LeGrew, Ray Patterson. Did the court date start at 9 o'clock this morning? What are you talking about? I'm good on the money line. What up, man? Great. Kentrell LeGrew, what you talking about? Nah, this tank shit's starting to get aggravating now. Oh, it's been aggravating, bro, but there's no new news, bro. That's not any new news. The videotape was already described. People already knew what it was. But anyway, man, let me wait for people to get in here and I'll give you my opinion on it. Because honestly, bro, Gervante Davis, they succeeded in making Gervante Davis look like an asshole. I will give you that. Y'all definitely, the videotape definitely makes Gervante Davis look like an asshole. It does. Does it show a kidnapping? I mean, look, bro, I'll leave it up to the criminal court. I'll leave it up to the judges, like I've always said, and the jury and all of that. But bro, he looks like an asshole that grabbed a girl by the back of the neck again. That's what I saw. I don't know why they walked down the stairs. I don't know if they agreed to go down to the car for something and they were tussling back and forth. I don't know. We'll hear when the actual eyewitness says what happened and you can hear it. But what I'll tell you is, man, is Gervonta looked like an asshole. That's what he looked like. If that and let me separate it this way. On the one side, people ask this question, and I'm going to give respect to the question because people ask it, right? They in court now about what? What are they in court for? Which court? Are they on TV or something? They're in court doing what? With a motion to dismiss Gervante Davis's trial? Which court? Are they in? Anyway, I don't know where they're in court. We'll see what happens with that. That Tank was mad. His bottom bitch was dancing with another man. I mean, look, man, all I'm saying is, bro, y'all had that dude punching her in the head and beating her up like a grown man. That's not on that videotape. Honestly, bro, I don't think that looks like a kidnapping to me. A battery? A battery? Yeah, that looks like that could be a battery. It does. But it also looks like it could be extortion too. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out, man. You know? What? Chris, don't capitalize letters at me, bro. Just put it in the chat, bro. You commonly misunderstand me, dog. So what are you saying? That looks like a battery. It doesn't look like a kidnap. It doesn't. Because they walked away from each other on the premises. Unless you're saying you kidnapped somebody to take him down to his car is kidnapping. You kidnapped me and took me to my car. We exchanged something and then we went our own directions is kidnapping. Bro, that looks like a girlfriend and a boyfriend or two dudes and a dude acting an asshole pushing a girl around is what that looks like. That doesn't look like he intended to apprehend her and stick her in a fucking basement somewhere. What is kidnapping? Kidnapping is when you intend to take somebody by force or otherwise. Oh, I'll get the elements for it. It doesn't look like kidnapping to me. The elements, what are the elements of kidnapping? You also have to have intent. Yeah, for aggravated kidnapping, a specific nefarious intent like ransom or robbery. Unlawfully taking or confining or carrying away a person against their will, typically involving force, fear, or fraud. Dog, do you really think he used a lot of force to get her down those stairs because they were walking? I guess you could say that's kidnapping. By force, fear, or fraud, key elements include physical movement of the victim. I mean, he put his hands on her. Lack of consent, that's an argument. Did she consent to go down the stairs or not? If he has somebody inventing and they're like, let's go down to, and she says, let's go down to the car. And he says, no, I don't want to, no, let's go down to the car. Let's talk about this outside. How do we get outside? Oh, follow me. Let's go outside. So she says to him, let's just do some imaginary shit, okay? And I mean this, Coach Chris. Let's do some imaginary shit here, okay? Because you don't have any sound. You don't have any words. All right? I don't have any sounds. I don't have any words. All you see is people moving. Now, I don't know what was said, and I'm being very truthful. I don't know what was said. But what if she said, let's go down to the car? What if it was her idea because he was upset to move and go downstairs? What if that's what that man testifies to? Now, I don't like to do what ifs. I wanted to actually go to court, Coach Chris. But under Florida law, kidnapping is defined as forcibly, secretly, or by threat, confining, object, or imprisoning another person against their will without lawful authority. Yeah, and you're going to have to say against their will. You're going to have to make that argument about against their will. And what they're going to argue is this was not against her will. The pushing and shoving was an argument, but it wasn't against her will to go to the car. And we can evidence that by the fact that once they got to the car, they walked away. They didn't, once they got to a car or a destination, she left. So they could say no. Bro, you got to listen to the testimony, Chris. Bro, I am not, let me tell you what I'm not. I am not somebody that's going to be able to look at this problem from the point of view of a layman. You're just not going to get that out of me, Chris. I'm sorry. If you want me to tell somebody what kidnapping is, then you got to give me the elements of kidnapping. If you show me a tape and there are eyewitnesses, and the eyewitnesses said, nah, that's not why they went downstairs. They're going to say, no, that's not why they went downstairs. We went downstairs because we were arguing and we said, let's go downstairs. Let's go talk about it outside. She knew she was going outside. If the person testifies that she knew where she was going and she was leading them to the car and she's the one that is directing him, that means that he didn't kidnap her. She was the one directing him. And if he points in time and says, okay, keep moving, let's go. I don't want to argue here. Let's go. You just don't know. That's what I'm saying. No. But hey, Coach Chris, I appreciate that. But you put it in all caps, bro. You all cap me, Coach Chris. Hey, Coach, you put them in all caps, bro. I know what all caps is. With a case like this, witnesses are mandatory. I'm telling you, Martin, when you get a chance to check out Coach 20 minutes. Hold on. Martin, when you get a chance, check out. It dropped 26 minutes ago in his chat, so I don't know what is being said, but his lawyer is filing a motion. Oh, I don't hold on one second. Let me look. I've not been keeping up with the case like that. Hold on, give me a second. I mean, they're going to file a bunch of motions, bro, because now it's in there. Because he didn't take the money. Give me 1 second. I'll see if I already knew about it. Oh, he accuses DA of foul play. No, I didn't see that. He said New Jersey, Gervante Davis lawyer files motion to have charges dropped, accuses DA of foul play. No, I didn't hear that, man. Is it a long video? What did he say about it? All right. So, okay, I saw that. Okay, said a motion to dismiss because the lawyer would not, because the DA wouldn't take any of their evidence. I'm pretty sure they got at least a couple of witnesses willing to testify because attorneys know what's going on. You don't have at least that. It's a waste of time. I'm sorry, Queen. It's a control. I'm sorry, Queen. I was just riding with you on that. No, look, man, shit'll play out because these guys are going to play. They're going to file a bunch of motions. Anyway, where is this? I'm not about to watch no whole. Yeah, anyway, nah. All right, so I didn't read all the motions, man. I'm not keeping it up. I'm not reading that stuff every single solitary second of the day. We'll find out what happens as it goes on. But anyway, they're basically saying that the district attorney is not taking any of their. That seems like standard stuff to me, man. It really does. It sounds like just standard. Let's go through it. And more than likely, what it looks like to me is they want some type of settlement. And when he didn't do the settlement, these guys continued to push this stuff forward. And honestly, though, man, they're just really doing a PR damage to Gervonta by putting that. That's the same basically shit that it looked like in that in the issue that got everybody started off when he was in that. Corey Carter said, I'm probably late. Did you see anything about TMZ saying they got the tape of Tank? Yeah, I saw it. I saw the tape, but the tape looks bad. It's not a good look at all, bro. However, again, dog, you're going to have to see what these people are really going to say, man. I mean, if they want to make an example of them, they can make an. For now, I'm not asked, dude, let me tell you what I'm going to do for you, bro. I'm not interested in answering your questions. What I said was that you need to get the testimony of eyewitnesses. Okay? I said there's eyewitnesses. You need to hear the eyewitness testimony. That's what I said. I could come up with a million scenarios for why this could have happened and that could have happened. What I said was there's a guy in the videotape that is standing right behind the girl, standing right behind Gervonta. He's literally right there. He's literally right there. Right there. So, and he's there in every frame of the videotape that you point to. I find it very interesting that you guys don't want to know what this guy has to say. And instead want to ask questions about what could he possibly say that could change anything. Dog, why don't you listen to what the guy has to say? But we know why you guys don't want to listen to what the guy has to say. Because you guys just want the guy to be guilty. That's your job. Yeah, that guy carrying it looks like food. Carrying what? Yeah, I'm just telling you, that's what, dude, he's walking behind him like nothing is happening. He's not involved in preventing her from going anywhere. When they get down to the car, they all separate. What you see is a push here and a push there in a narrative. Dog, you got to wait, and you got to wait until these guys testify as to what they said. It doesn't matter if it's his friend. Have you ever heard an oath? It doesn't, that was Tank's friend. It doesn't matter. It's still a witness. This witness has to testify. The witness, that you can judge what he says based off who he is, but this girl's a stripper. You're believing everything she says, and she's a stripper. Used to taking men for their money. Come on, man. You're just giving her the benefit of the doubt that she's not extorting it. You know you can extort a guilty man, right? Like that's what I'm saying, bro. Bro, I don't know. You're a bot, bro. I've never even seen you before. Fuck off, bro. You don't want to make this shit about me. Fuck you. I'm sorry, and I'm going to be positive. Dog, you're not going to try to make this shit about me. I'm not on trial. Okay? You guys keep using the same. You guys are nothing but a bunch of PR people, bro. Hell, did you see the video? She got her ass cheeks like, what is she, a waitress? She walking with her ass cheeks out. Come on, bro. That girl is one step. She's still a stripper. But anyway, it doesn't matter if she's a stripper or not. Please. Come on, man. Those hostesses, dog, please. Anyway, those hostesses, please. Anyway, did you see the videotape, Coach Chris? If that's how I guess waitresses do dress like that. But Bob, anyway, look, man. Anyway. Yeah, the video looks bad because he grabbed her and it's ominous looking. Bro, I'm not trying to make an out for anybody. Get out of here. Let's talk about Devin Haney now. No, I could be a prick if I want to be a prick. Dude, if Gervante Davis when Gervante Davis went to jail for his hit and run, bro, I didn't say jack shit about his hit and run. You guys can cut that shit out. When Gervante Davis was accused of a hit and run, do you know what I said about the hit and run? I said Gervante Davis was most likely drinking, and he left the car, and he went away. I said Gervante Davis did it, and Gervante Davis needed to be punished for his hit and run. Okay? That is not what is this? Man, I'm loving this shit where you get to see. I'm loving this stuff where you get to see phone calls before they come in. There has been times where my wife's sister was getting into physical altercations in a bar, and I had to physically walk her out to keep her out of trouble. Look, man, this you don't even know off camera in the slots that they're not showing if she had hit him or if he felt like he was like, no, get away from me, keep going, let's go down. No, you gotta wait for these people to hear this, bro. Now, hey, look, Coach Chris, the whole videotape looks bad. But go to the last section, Coach Chris, when they walk away from each other. Go and then you listen to the lawyer say she escaped. Clearly, he is miscategorizing that. You escaped? You escaped? They walked down to the garage. Gervante Davis took his food, and then they all walked their separate difference. He said, Joke says he was kicking and punching her and dragging her on the floor in the video. Oh, I'm sorry. Jake said Tank was kicking and punching her and dragging her on the floor in the video. Tank got a hefty lawsuit coming after this. I'm telling you, man, that doesn't show any of that shit. It doesn't show any of that shit. It shows him being an asshole and grabbing that girl by the neck, which is the same thing he did before, bro. You know what I mean? Anyway, man, it's just fucked up, bro. Yeah, look, it got to just go to the end. It's a whole, but look at him walk away, bro. That shit, they walk away from each other. Gervante Davis isn't trying to hold her, isn't trying to keep her. It looked like they walked out of one area because they were arguing and he's pushing and shoving and then they get down and they walk different ways. They later that night, they kiss and make up and they go out the next day. Dog, I'm not talking to you guys today, dog. Seriously, man. Anyway, man, look, bro, no PR agents, please. No PR agents, no promoters, no conversation for people that are fans of other fighters. Okay? I would appreciate you. And I'm going to tell you what I never did to Devin Haney. I never said that I knew that Devin Haney kicked his baby mama in the stomach. I never said that his baby mama, that I know he slapped his baby mama around. Zachariah said, Martin, you don't have to defend yourself against these clowns. From what I've seen, the video doesn't support her story. That's it. We can't fill in the blanks with our own story. Big lie, little lie, still a lie. I mean, you know, look, bro, I think everybody can have their own viewpoint on it, Zacharias. I really do. I really do. But I don't want to say that this is not a concerted effort to ruin Gervante Davis. And because because he would not pay $1 million. Now the court has released this video, right? The one that she said that she would not release if he paid $1.1 million. My question is it real that you asked for $1.1 million? And if you got the $1.1 million, Gervante Davis wouldn't be doing anything. What's up, Robert Anderson? Shout out to you, brother. Oh, I think it's a good thing that they got the tape. It is. I agree 100%. We don't know what happened in Devin's situations. We know Shakur punched one chick in the back of the head on video, though. I mean, yeah, he did. But maybe, yeah, he did punch that girl. But all these little niggas act like that, bro. First of all, let's be real about little dudes. All right, I mean this shit. All you little niggas is funny. The first dude that I ever heard talk about beating up a woman was a little nigga, bro. Like, seriously. The first time I ever heard about a man talking about he would slap up a woman was some little dude. Most dudes that I know that got them violent, a lot of those dudes, them little ass niggas be having them violent ass tempers with women because the women are bigger than them. So look, man, I'm telling you, bro, anyway, man, it's just a bad situation. And Gervonta needs to keep his hands to himself. Even if she slaps you, be better to let her slap you. Said, now that's a fact about these short dudes. Yeah, man, them short dudes, man. Like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Look, I'm not gonna say I'm unbiased because I have a bias. I'll tell you what my bias is. What my bias is I don't like you PR agents. I have to be honest with you. I don't like you PR agents. I don't like the fact that you try to help the evidence along. I don't like that you try to help the evidence along. I don't like the mob. You guys are the mob. You guys are a mob. You guys are the mob. When they talk about the mob, you guys are the mob. You are the group of people that all gather together in large numbers to hurt people. And if you have a reason to hurt them, all the better. If you don't have a reason to hurt them, you're still going to try to hurt them. So, your first option is to hurt them based off things that they do. If you can't find anything that they're actually doing, you'll still make some shit up and come after them. Virgil Wimley said, no man should put his hands on any woman in a violent manner. Yeah, that's a matter of ethics. Unless, of course, that woman is trying to attack you, at which point in time, you can spin her head. Because I ain't gonna lie, I told my older sister one time, and I meant that shit. Like, the only time that I ever threatened a woman, I'm going to tell you when I threatened a woman, and I meant that I was going to follow through on it. I got an older sister, and my older sister was like a brown belt in judo. So she can fight, and she could always fight. She had good hands. She could rush. She could box. She can fight, right? She's trained to fight. So one time, when I was hanging out with So Deep in my basement, and So Deep was there at my house when this happened. Shout out to So Deep. I'm 6'2", she's 5'5". She walked up from behind me, right? And then she grabbed me from the back of my neck and she put me in a sleeper hold. I didn't see her coming. I did not see her coming. I didn't do anything to antagonize her. She just decided she was going to show everybody that she could choke me out. I was 16 or 17 years old at the time. She's 18, 19 years old. If I fight her, I will kill this woman. So I let the shit go as jokes, right? And everybody, one day she was joking about it. And you know what I told her? I said, how about I punch you in the face? Since you're good at choking people from behind, how about I punch you as hard as I can right in your face? And we're going to see if you can take that. Because she knows, of course, like anybody would know, I'm 6'2", 220 pounds, and I know very well how to punch. And if I punch this woman in her face, she is going to go unconscious and she's going to have fractures all through the middle of her face. She will never look the same again. If I hit her in her face, she'll never look the same again. Now, see, this is where men have to be challenged. This is where men have to be challenged. You know that this woman only grabbed me because she didn't think I would punch her for doing it. She knows if I turn around and punch her, that I'm going to be at fault by my father, my mother, and everybody else because I didn't show the restraint. And I turned around and I rearranged literally her entire face. Because that's what men can do when men hit you. If Gervante Davis wanted to hit this girl, really hit this girl, her face would look completely different. So if you look at what Gervante is doing versus what they accused him of doing before anybody saw the videotape, you'll see that this dude is a jackass when it comes to women for sure because he didn't restrain himself enough. Leave her alone. If she wants to talk to you, Tank, don't talk to her. If she comes to visit you in your house with video cameras on everything and don't do anything. I've seen less like calling a threatening and GV. I've seen less like threatening and get a DV. Honestly, man, I think it's misdemeanor battery at anything. For me, from what I see, because honestly, bro, there's more than just the elements. You gotta argue that this dude had intended that he used force for those purposes. That's an argument, bro. And you're gonna make one way or a lawyer is gonna make one the other way. It'll all come out in the wash in that particular instance. But my thing is this. I don't like you guys adding extra shit to this. I mean, look, bro. Bro. Gervante Davis did not try to beat this girl up. So you can stop that shit. Okay? You guys with this, what would happen if your daughter if my daughter's boyfriend grabbed her and walked her out of somewhere and I saw the videotape, do you know what I would do? I would probably grab a bat and I would go to his house and I would tell him, please believe me, I am going to bust your fucking skull if you ever put your hands on my daughter again. And I'm going to promise him that I'm going to do that. That's what I would do if it was my daughter. I wouldn't say he tried to kidnap her. Because that doesn't look like he tried to kidnap her. I'm not going to lie. What's up, Kirk Jones? My daughter came and got me because her husband choked me, but I went to take him away, but then I found out what she was doing at home. At the end, I walked away from it. Behavior is worthy. Yeah. I mean, bro, it's like, look, there's a difference between per se things. Yeah, I'd probably fucking bust his ass up. I mean, no, I would not. Because I would not right away. I wouldn't, because first of all, if she's going to stay with him, then I really can't be in their relationship. I mean, a father and son, I can't be in their relationship. I can't. Well, first of all, it's a little different from because I'm thinking of my wife, my girl. I'm thinking more of my daughter's boyfriend being her husband, because eventually that's going to be her husband, because they're going to be together forever. I do believe. Now you believe this out of spite or disdain or off legal. What are you talking about? Yeah, I'm just telling you, bro. Like, dude, it does not look like he beat that girl up. You cannot say he beat that girl up. All right, you can't say that because he didn't beat her up. What he did is he grabbed her and shoved her, and he looked like he was very mad. Fanon, I'm with B more, and no, we don't agree with Tank, but I thought he did more to her. I mean, look, bro, Tank need to fucking stop that shit. Like, without a doubt, bro, he needs to stop that shit. That's the second time he's on tape doing something like that. He needs to stop that. He really does. However, what he doesn't need is the mob. He doesn't need the mob. He doesn't need a mob of people. We don't need a mob. We just don't need it. I'm sorry. We do not need street lynchings. We don't need lynchings in the public public square. We don't need for you guys to manipulate and use unfortunate situations for your benefit. That's it. If it was as bad as I'm sorry, Zulu said what? I mean, Tank got to stop touching women. It's just all it is, bro. Like, look, man, Bro, I know for us, and let me tell you something. I personally believe, and this is what you can believe it or not believe it. And I'm going to stay very, very earthly today. I know sometimes I get off into the stratosphere. Today, I'm not going to get off into the stratosphere. But I mean this. In my life, I have had people try to set me up for the fall before. So I am familiar with the process of people trying to set you up for the fall. The way they're going to set you up for the fall is with your own faults. That's how they go about it. They're not going to try to manufacture something out of the blue. What they're going to do is they're going to try to use something that a characteristic they know you have. And they're going to try to manipulate things to put you in a situation where you hurt yourself. You know what I mean? It's kind of like how people hunt a buffalo by pushing the buffalo off a ledge because they can't kill the buffalo themselves. So they scare the buffalo and they make the buffalo run off the edge. Basically, that's what I'm saying that people do in the mob. The mob of people, the people behind that are really trying to manipulate people. No, I know that what it is to be set up. So look, for example, man, all right, because I know sometimes I'll be going out there and I got to pull myself down a little bit. I'll put the percentage at 80%. But I had the distinct feeling that I was being set up for a DUI. I had the distinct feeling that I was going to get arrested for driving under the influence. And I'm going to tell you why I had that feeling. Because there's somebody that I don't trust that for some reason is sitting right between, literally sitting 24 hours a day, in between where I live and where the liquor store is. Literally living right there. So I had problems before, maybe a year ago, maybe earlier, about a year ago, with some vendors that basically threatened me. Said, "Oh, you don't know who I am." Basic local Masonic type politician people that think they got power, right? So anyway, I know these guys are pissed off at me because I basically said, "Fuck y'all." Because I got a bad habit of people that are in those positions of authority. I will literally tell you, "Fuck you," because you can't do anything to me. I'm higher ranking than you. You know what I mean? So when I walk into their establishment and they're a colonel and I'm a colonel, you're a colonel and I'm a fucking what I am, they think they have some power. So I know that they're going to use their mechanisms at a certain point in time to try to affect me. Right? So you got to see that these things are coming. Like Gervante Davis has to see whenever he goes by a strip club that is where a setup is coming. No. Look, Oxtail, don't worry about that. Let me tell you. Use Instacart, have your alcohol delivered. No, but let me tell you what I did. I just stopped drinking. No, I just stopped drinking. I'm not having my alcohol delivered. I'm not going to pick it up. I'm not doing anything. What I did was I have not had a drink in 3 months or 2 months. That's what I did. What I said is I'm not going to drink. I'm not an alcoholic. If I don't want to drink, I won't drink. Who is that? No, I don't. I don't look drunk at all, bro. But anyway, have a nice day, bro. No, exactly what I did was I just decided I wasn't going to drink. Because I'm not an alcoholic and I don't have to drink. And if I think that you're going to try to set me up to get me a DUI, I'm not going to try to play around because I'm just going to not drink because that's what you're trying to do. And show fire within a couple weeks, I'm telling you, within a couple weeks, there was a day that there was a police officer sitting there with a radar. No joke, a radar. I had never seen him there before or after. All of a sudden, when I was feeling that, there was a speed trap. Now, look, if I had been caught for speeding, if I pulled off too quick and that guy hit me with that radar, what do they get to do? They get to say, "Oh, I saw you take a drink," or "I saw you with this liquor. Let me smell your breath." Right? So, no, I just stopped drinking. Gervante Davis, you just got to be an old man now. You just cannot live in the public, Gervante. You can't do it. I'm sorry. You got to get a boring ass wife. You got to get a boring ass girl, and you got to stay with that boring ass girl that is not a stripper. That she may put some. Yeah, you can't do it because you're a target. There's a target on your back. That's what Gervonta has, and I don't like the fact that he has a target on his back. I know that the guy may be an alcoholic. Okay, let me be real clear. I know my brother. You stop smoking that tweed, eh? What are you talking about? Oh, that's not me. No, seriously, like I know my brother may be an alcoholic. That doesn't mean that you should be able to get there and trap him and put a charge on him by a bunch of concerted efforts. You know he's going to do it, so you snitch on him and you set him up, and then boom, you get him for what he's guilty of. Dog, do you know most extortions take place when people are guilty? You don't extort innocent people. You extort people that you think you have something on. It's still illegal to extort someone. Just because your daughter got pushed down on the ground doesn't mean that you have the right to extort this man. I'm going to tell you, if my daughter got shoved to the ground and then she turns around and says, "Give me $1 million or I'm going to turn you in," you're still extorting that man. And you're guilty of extortion. And you should be punished for extortion. It doesn't matter if what the guy did was true or not. You should be punished for extortion. Because you said, if you don't give me this money, I'm going to sue you. If you do give me this money, I won't sue you. Or if you give me this money, I won't file criminal charges. If you do give me this money, I won't cooperate. Okay? That's your daughter extorting someone. So let me ask you a question. Do you approve of your daughter extorting someone? If we're going to use the same loaded rhetorical questions? I mean, very seriously. If your daughter got punched and she told the boy, first of all, she didn't even get punched. She got knocked to the ground. And she said, "You give me $1 million or I'm going to call the police." Baby girl, why don't you just go to the police if what you want is to be protected? Obviously, you don't want to be protected. You want to get paid. You want to get paid. This whole case is about her getting paid. It's not about her righting a wrong. They're going to the press with all this stuff because they know this kid is famous. You can extort a guilty man. And I challenge any of you, and I don't want to call you clowns. I'm going to call you mob. Because you guys are in the mob. You're a mob of people trying to surround somebody, and by sheer power of public pressure, you're trying to ruin this guy's career. That's what you're doing. And let's not also forget that you won't let Jermell Charlo have a fight. What about the Jermell Charlo fight? What about Jermell and his girlfriend that said that they were blocking Jermell Charlo for having any fights? And you guys are running around talking about Jermell Charlo's a drug addict and he's broke and he's... I want to know how far you guys are willing to go to make a living. But not the degree she implied. People said she filed 3 days later, 2 mornings after going back to a spot and chilling with the little... In the 90s, they would have said she was sticking up for women. What is that? In the 90s, they would say she was sticking up for women. A broad that has been abused. By suing for money, you do that by going to court. But anyway, look. I say let the thing play out. I really do. I'm trying to avoid you guys trying to ruin everybody's livelihood. Ray Jackson. Ray Jackson, let me talk to you for a second. First of all, Ray, I'm not your buddy. And I want to tell you very clearly, brother, don't call me. I don't appreciate you calling me buddy. I don't. I'm not your buddy. Also, you're quiet as a rabbit. You're quiet as can be. And then you jump out and then somebody told you, and I appreciate you being respectful, but somebody told you to respond to me. You use your 30,000 followers or whatever you have. Ray Jackson. A guilty person can be extorted. Let me talk to you, Ray Jackson. Ray, if you did something illegal, like fix a boxing match, and somebody said that if you don't pay me $1 million, I am going to report you to the police. That is extortion. If they report you to the police because you don't pay the money, that's extortion. And that is a crime. Ray Jackson, you're a comedian. I'm not cracking jokes. Your opinion is for sale. My opinion is not for sale. I have an agenda for sure. Yes, I do, and I will tell you what my agenda is. I don't want the mob to be able to make decisions in boxers' lives. Let me tell you my stated purpose. I am not saying mafia. I am saying mob. The family of people that organize business and do things, bro, I'm okay with them. Because again, that's mafia. That's mi familia. That's family. What I don't like is the mob of you people that gather in large numbers with your pitchforks and your tiki torches, running up on people, creating a calamity in order to destroy this person. I don't like you revolutionary insurrectionists that are always trying to sow discord with this group within the mob, against this group within the mob, within this group within the mob, and that group within the mob. I don't care if you're a Jewish mob. I don't care if you're a black mob. I don't care if you're an LGBTQ mob. I don't care if you're a female mob. I don't care if you're a Hebrew mob. I don't care what mob of you people you are. I don't want you to use your numbers to overshadow justice. I know it's a mob. They call a lynch mob. That's what they do every time. I have had a lynch mob come at me multiple times. I have had a lynch mob come at me multiple times. Let me tell you the first time somebody came at me with a lynch mob. Let me tell you what they did. Hey, put a 1 in the chat if I can tell you. You're lying. She ran back. Why you lie? She did not run back in a very fast pace. You fucking lie. If you look at Gervante Davis walking and her walking, they're walking at the same fucking pace. You lying sack of shit. She walked back in. He walked back in. She walked. She didn't run, you liar. She walked. It wasn't a great way to speed. It was the same speed he was walking. Look at him walk and her walk at the same time. They walked in opposite directions at the same pace. Stop lying. They were walking at the same pace. All you got to do is look at the woman and Gervonta at the same time. They leave at the same pace. Anyway, and by the way, you can barely see her walking. Barely see that girl walking towards the steps. And when they said, oh, she walked, anyway, she didn't run at all. They walked at the same pace. Anyway, let me tell you what they did, since y'all said 1. This is what the lynch mob did for me when they first came after me. I know you heard Bill Haney stuff, other people's stuff, but let me tell you what they did. I have a daughter that is at the time. Listen to this. This is why they started calling me all kind of names, right? They put out there on Twitter that I was a pedophile. They put up there my name was Fanon Hancock. They had all kind of campaigns to keep you guys from watching me for several years, and you know you've seen it. But let me tell you what they did and how dirty they were the first time. The reason they said that about me, the gossip got around me and, oh, Fanon is this and that, you know what it came from? It came from the fact that I had a 16-year-old daughter. And my daughter and I like to debate, as evidenced by the fact that she's in law school now. And, you know, she loves to debate. I love to debate. I've been teaching her and training her on how to debate people her entire life. So let me tell you what I did. My daughter wanted to get on my YouTube channel. I might have had 5,000. I might have had 10,000 subscribers at the time. I had my daughter and I are talking about Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. I, in the video, kissed my daughter on the head and I put my arm on her shoulder. These people called me a pedophile. These people, because they had me on tape kissing my daughter on the cheek and having my arm around my 16-year-old daughter. They used that video evidence to make an argument that I was a pedophile because I kissed my daughter. Did I kiss my daughter? Yes. Did I hug my daughter? Yes. Is it on videotape? Yes. But only a fucking pervert, only the most scumbag pervert that you could ever fucking imagine would believe that I was having a sexual relationship with my 16-year-old daughter because I kissed her on her fucking forehead. That's what you use videotape for, Ray Jackson. Those are the people you fuck with, Ray Jackson. Those are the people that like to put up videotapes and then give you the narrative of the videotape and leave it to your imagination to fill in the gaps. You fucking piece of shit, Ray Jackson. Anyway, let me be very, very polite now before my wife comes in here and gets me to keeps me from snapping on y'all. Do not sit up here and tell me because you see something on videotape where somebody gives you a fucking narrative that means the narrative is true. Just because they can make up a story and pass it around to somebody. Now, did that carry on? Of course it did. But guess what Spencer Fearon did? You bitch. And that's why Spencer Fearon, bro, if he saw me in the same country as this nigga, he's going to leave it. He said that I deserve to die, is what Spencer Fearon said about me. Spencer Fearon said I deserve to die because I kissed my daughter on the forehead on a video. That's your mob. That's your mob. So if you think I'm going to support you fuckboys in anything you do, you're out of your goddamn mind. And on top of that, I made everybody pay that did it. I made everybody pay for doing it. And should you understand, I made everybody pay for doing it. You soft ass scrubs. I made him pay for doing it. There is no MTK Global in the United States. None. There was a $5 million bounty put on the head of Daniel Kinahan. I don't play with the mob. And I told Spencer Fearon, and I told him to his face, So don't you niggas ever tell me about a mob of people blaming somebody for something. I'm cool, baby. Don't tell me about that. Don't be the person that says, okay, I saw a videotape. This guy doesn't deserve to get a fair hearing. Don't be that guy around me. Because what you're doing, Ray Jackson, is you're empowering people with nefarious purposes. That's what you're doing. You guys have nefarious purposes. Nefarious purposes. And you are taking money with people that you know are operating with nefarious purposes. And the best thing that they do is use the truth to assassinate people. You use my love for my daughter and my affection for my daughter as a weapon. And that's what you said. You told me that it was my fault that you lied on me because I shouldn't have allowed you to weaponize my daughter. You hear that? This is the phrase that they used with me. That it's my fault that they had to weaponize my daughter. They used the phrase weaponize my daughter. That's what these people do. They weaponize your loved ones. Right? Anyway, I know who you guys are. No, it's not the first time. Hey, respect for Fanon. Thank you, man. Thank you, Robert Gonzalez, bro. I appreciate you, brother. No, I'm serious, man. That's why I got to tell you why I feel this way. I got to tell you why I feel this way. Because you got to understand these people are setting people up. They absolutely are. And the way they set you up is with the things that you like to do. If you like to be with women and you got a bad temper and a volatile relationship with women, they're going to use that. If you have a loving relationship with your daughter, they're going to use that. If you got an acrimonious relationship with your sister, they're going to use that. They are literally the most parasitic human beings that you could ever see. And there's no honor amongst them. There's no success about them. It's a shame. We should wake up in a utopian world. And I know there is no utopian world. We should wake up on the newspapers where it says Gervante Davis charged. That's what we should hear on the newspaper. Gervante Davis charged in a criminal court. News. Gervante Davis's case. Hey, shout out, Coach Chris. All right, bro, Coach Chris. Get back with your brother. Nephew Tank wrong, but I believe she was setting him up for a payday. Look, man, she definitely set him up for a payday. The question is, what's the rest of that, though? Again, man, like I said, my problem is not necessarily, what up, KO, boxing, breaking news? Look, my problem with this situation is not necessarily. It's really not necessarily Gervante Davis. You know, it's really the mob of people that are doing this stuff. Like I don't have anything against Devin Haney as a person. I don't. But at the same time, I got to be honest with you. I really think that dude is, you know what I mean? He's completely compromised. Bill Haney is completely compromised. Boxing media is completely compromised. So, you know, what I do, Richelle? Hey, man, let's put a conversation in here, bro. What do y'all think about the Jaron Ennis and Xander Zayas fight? Let me talk about get off the Gervonta for a second, bro. If anybody wants to support the channel today, I would appreciate it. Or bipolar? What is that? Yeah, let's talk about that fight for a second. Let's talk about that. I'm going to tell you right now, dog, I think Gervonta Davis is going to mow down Xander Zayas. I don't think Xander Zayas is ready for Gervonta Davis, and I think he's going to get mowed down, bro. I really, really do. Rick Tim said, why is Debo ducking Rolly, though? I had Devin winning another 12 round. Do you believe believe Devin believe it too? No, I'm going to tell you, Rick Timms, I don't think that he's ducking. I think that he can't take the fight. He just can't take the fight, bro. That's all it is. He can't take the fight. I don't think it's a situation at all where Devin's ducking. I don't. I think Devin has a PR team around him. I think that there's a restructuring going on in boxing. And I think these guys are all in slave contracts, to tell you the truth. Like, you never know who's in a slave contract till they do their autobiography, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you never know. You never know who's in a slave contract until they get out of that contract and they're out there explaining why they're in the situation they're in when nobody's paying attention to them anymore. You know what I mean? So like Devin is an innocent bystander for real. Like, seriously, man, I want to be 100% with y'all, man. I want to be 100% with y'all because there's a lot of stuff going on bad in the world, bro, and I really want it to end. But the only way that it's going to end is if it goes all the way. If you guys don't stop. And when it goes all the way, dog, trust me, bro, you're going to lose in a very horrific fashion. And you guys signed up with these guys in these slave contracts that you can't get out of because you dealt with the mob. I mean, I warned you for a long time. You guys are cutting deals with the mob, bro. You can't cut deals with the mob. You never win. You never win. And it's replete in boxing. And you see how it's getting structured. They are literally moving everything in boxing where you're not going to have a choice but to fight who they tell you to fight. You know what I mean? Like, people talk about the zone, the home of boxing, bro. No. Home is where boxing, the zone is the home, is where boxing goes to die. I'm telling you, man. Boxing is, the zone is where boxing goes to die. Top Rank is going over there to die. And let me tell you why I say that. Because number one, Bob Arum is done. Bob Arum, not done is that. I mean, Bob Arum is living the rest of his life. Bob is up touching 100. Right? These guys are, all those guys in upper level management have always been rich. I mean, they are good. But they're going to die. Golden Boy, listen to the tone that Golden Boy used when they talked about their deal with DAZN. They've got a very small deal with DAZN that allows them to go take fights, and if they can get offers from other people, more than likely DAZN can match that and they'll have the fight on DAZN. That's a slave contract. I mean, seriously, man, you guys think that these options that you have, like their right to match and their minimums, dog, those things tighten a noose around your neck. You guys aren't you guys are PR savvy. You're boxing savvy. These people are the greatest businessmen. They're some of the greatest businessmen that you could ever imagine. And the fact of the matter is, it's very hard to understand what they're doing, and they make it that way on purpose. So you think that you're taking certain risks, and you're like, oh, these risks are going to pay off. But man, they're not going to pay off because they already know the outcome. The outcome is that your money is going to get spent. Your money's going to wind up with their fees are still going to get paid, and you're going to be out selling a woe is me song years later. I'm sorry, brother. I don't want to be, man, look, let me tell you something, man. You niggas telling me to grandmaster. Let me be honest with you, you British guy. Dog, I don't have to get on board with anything. I don't have to get on board with anything. I'm a fan. You can't make me get on board with nothing. I'm not going to get on board with bullshit people. You guys get on board with bullshit people. I've got a niche. I've got a niche. My niche is this. You guys be the mob, and you guys continue to tear everybody down according to racial lines, sexual preference, any of the fake divisions that you guys want to divide the mob into so that you guys can, collect in your interest groups and then attack people with your interest groups. Dog, I don't care about any of that stuff that you guys have playing out. I really don't. Because you guys exist upon the foundation of God. You exist upon that firm foundation. I know that the foundation is firm. I know that the earth is not going to move. I know that there is not a meteor coming to land on my head today. But I also know that you guys will do your best to make me think that there is one. You guys, in order to do what? Push me along my day. So at the end of it, well, for the most part, bro, I don't really care. And there is no selling out for you guys because you guys aren't real. This situation happened with Gervante Davis is either going to result in what it results in. All of your videos and all of your pontificating and all of your moralizing and all of the soapboxes that you stand on are nothing but members of the mob pointing fingers at Gervante. Just like the members of the mob point at the misdoings of the man that got lynched. He whistled at that white woman. He whistled at that white woman. The white woman said he whistled at her. There ain't no need to go to court. Get me the rope, throw him up on the tree, get the barbecue ready, and we're going to have a picnic. Okay? That's the mob mentality. Jurisprudence is there to protect the elite from the mob. It's not there to protect other members from each other. And that's the shortcoming of the way our legal system is applied. And it's a shortcoming of our system where people that want the system to work for them don't care for the system working for other people. You guys support public lynchings. You participate in public lynchings. You do. And you think it's okay to draw conclusions with events that you didn't see, where you don't know the whole story. Do you understand that not knowing the whole story gets people killed? Do you know how much videotape evidence was put out there about Iraq having weapons of mass destruction? And how many people said that and how many people died over that lie? Because the lie was nothing but a smokescreen for the real movement that was going on, which is what? The Greater Israel Project in the Middle East. That's the grand project. So Gervante Davis, and whether or not he's a good, bad, or guy is nothing but a stage play. It's nothing but an act in the middle of them trying to lead you to a greater cause, which is these people taking over the sport of boxing. But let me help you. They lost. They lost. But that doesn't mean that they're not going to go out kicking and screaming, trying to drag everybody down with them. They will do that because there's nothing else for them to do. Turkey al-Sheikh is currently getting bombed. I mean, I said it. I said it yesterday. This is what I thought of yesterday. I thought to myself, what a terrible day for boxing. Gervante Davis is, what a terrible day. Gervante Davis video looks terrible. Yeah, he's not fake. I mean, he's just not a real, Blue Blood's not a real person. Blue Blood's not a real person. That's just an op. You might as well be getting mad about what the CIA tells you. I mean, seriously, bro, you guys got to understand that this is propaganda. Just like the fact that aren't black people the worst criminals in the world? Oh yeah, no, he's just. I mean, he's just not real. That's just he doesn't own that. It's just not real. I mean, like seriously, do you give a fuck what he says? All that is a propaganda wing, bro. It doesn't matter if Fox News tells you the truth, bro. Fox News is a fucking propaganda wing. CNN is a propaganda wing. Al Jazeera is a propaganda wing. They're all engaged in giving you selective information and is going to make you think this way or that. Is the most vile to ever walk the earth. It's not even close. Yeah, it is. No, it's not close. No, I'm serious, bro. Like Ray Jackson, bro. You don't care what he thinks. You know what I mean? Hold on 1 second. Oh, okay, so that was in support of they said that he can sue for punitive damages. For up to $5 million in punitive damages. That was the hearing. Grabbed her by the neck and hair and charges he faced along. Okay. Yeah, it show. Okay, cool. All right, I get it. And then they're going to have a motion to dismiss and all of that. Did the video match the report? It didn't match Blue Bloods. It didn't match Jake Paul's. They wanted to say love. Just wanted to say love your podcast from Tech. Hey, thank you, bro. I appreciate that, man. Thank you, Isaac Rollins. I appreciate you, brother. I need the support, bro. I really do, man. Like, seriously, man. Sometimes a brother don't want to do this shit. And just want the shit to be like for real, bro. I mean that, man. Like, it's like sometimes, man, dealing with these people make you just want to say, bro. But you gotta, that's why I'm here, man. That's why I'm here. Thank y'all for y'all support, bro. It really makes a difference, dog. It really makes a difference, dog. Like, seriously, man, sometimes it's like, bro, why? Why? But you know why? Because their job is to try to exhaust you. The job is to try to exhaust you and to try to just make you think, you know, this isn't worth it. Let me go talk about something else. Let me go do something else. Let me quit and let the mob win. I'm sorry. You know what, man? It's not worth it protecting you. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I don't want the criticism. If I represent Gervante Davis and I say that Gervante Davis, you know, needs to be treated fairly, I'm going to be attacked and called all kind of things by the mob. I can't call the PBC and say, hey, PBC, will you work with me? Why? Because my reputation's already been ruined. Why would the PBC work with me when they know full well that there's 100,000 bot channels that are going to attack everything that I do? You know what I mean? So you got to take a step back and say, oh, you know, I can't be media, can't be journalism, because I never really wanted to be that. But you know what I mean? Like, you guys are out there trying to block people and attack platforms so that they don't have a voice. That's what you're doing. You're using Gervante Davis as a means to an end. That's why everything that Devin Haney does, you can see, oh, that's not a big deal that Devin did it. Gervante, though, we got to pay lawyers. We got to back up women. We got to offer to push and push and push and force this through to make it, to ruin his life. We're going to seek $5 million and run his name down in Florida, where you guys live. But that's okay, man, because you know what they say, bro. If the snake's head is already cut off and the body is just kicking. Let me repeat that. Oh, I mean, I see it. I watch his videos. I got it. It's there. I'll watch the hearings. Knockout boxing, KO, not knockout. Phoenix sends it to me, bro. I don't really, I mean, I kind of wanted to get played out. I wanted to play out a little bit, but thanks, bro. Y'all wanted the tape, and now here it is, and y'all still make it. Bro, the tape was out, bro. You got to go. You're not going to come back, bro, if you're a bot, bro. I'm not going to do it. Because that's why you can't allow opposing viewpoints. Let me tell you another way in which the boxing conversation is ruined. I'm sorry if I'm so negative, man. That's why people ain't supporting the channel. Oh, God, I hate being so negative during negative days. Really. But that's the end goal, bro. Salute, Lee Jackson. What up, man? JD in the building. What up, man? Anyway, if anybody wants to ask a question, let me put a link in the chat. If anybody want to share their opinions, hold on. I mean, seriously, man, like, bro, you just got to think, man. Like, as a matter of principle, why do we watch boxing? Why do we do it? We do it because it is a way for us to sidetrack ourselves and lose focus on the rest of the world. It's what you do when you're not being slaved. Do you know what I mean? For me, I was fortunate enough to combine the thing that I really love, which is talking to you people and talking to people and sharing my ideas about the world, sharing my ideas about sports. And I picked boxing because I knew it was going to be it's a medium by which you can get to any topic, political, economic, criminal. It doesn't matter. You can get to any part of God's organization by looking at any aspect of that organization. So if you want to understand the characteristics of a corporation, bro, you can understand the characteristics of that corporation by the product it produces. If it is a solid organization, if it is a solid business, it's going to produce solid products. If you are a shady, scandalous, then that's what you're going to produce in the work. And that's the work that you're producing in boxing. What we're getting is a bunch of content that is nothing but a bunch of intrigue, because that's what you guys are involved in. Yeah, I love boxing, man. What's up, King of Hayden?
Yo, what's good with it?
I'm good, bro. Just doing the thing, just doing my thing, man. What's up with you?
Yeah, man. That tape, that's not good. That's not good, man.
No, it's not.
I remember shoot. From what they were saying, I thought we was gonna see something like what Diddy did to Cassie in that one tape. When he had her on the floor and everything and kicking her and everything. Like I damn near thought that's what we was about to see on that, but like, shoot. When you look at when Tank dragged old girl out the basketball game some years back, this don't even come close to that. Now, what I'm gonna say is, you can't be putting your hands on women like that, though. That's a no-no. That's a no, especially out in public. Like that's the one thing that stands out. Like shit, you know what you got going on, and the fact that been in this situation a few times already. I mean, like just a few months after whatever happened with his baby mama, and they was mad that he threw the gift on the ground, but yeah, you can't be putting your hands on women. Like I remember a situation I was in, and you know what law enforcement told me?
What?
That there was that, hey man, if you in a situation like that, you at home, you got this the woman coming at you, swinging at you and shit. Hey man, just get out the house and try to lock yourself in the bathroom or something. because what was going to end up happening is going to be her word against yours, and that's your only defense. You got to either get out the house or hide in the bathroom. I said, damn, it's like that. And like, yeah,
It's
like
like that, bro.
they're like, don't try to defend yourself. Don't try to restrain her because if she bruise easy, then they're gonna use those bruises to say you was doing stuff to her. Don't try to do nothing. Just get out the house or lock yourself in a room if you can, and don't let it in. Just call 911 and wait for somebody to get up there to help you. I'm like, damn, that shit wild. So I'm like, yeah, man, even the law will tell you it don't matter what the woman is doing. Don't put your hands on it. So that's one thing that does stand out. But at the same time, like it's one of those things for me where I'm like, we know that this video don't match up with what she been saying, as far as like her claims in the lawsuit. And at the same time, the fact that she invited him out to her apartment and buzzed him up through security, I'm like, are we sure that this ain't like some kind of a messed up case that will end up on Ripley's Believe It or Not, like foreplay gone wrong or some shit? I mean, dang. like, like what was it like? Nah, I ain't ready to do this exhibition and shit. I can have my coworkers out here thinking I'm a freak. I'm a cocktail waitress. He can't be up here coming and doing this shit to me at work. I need to save face. Let me go file this lawsuit. But as she called him back to the apartment after. They let him spend the night, and they go out on a date the next day. They smiling, laughing, and giggling like, and they said they got that on video. Like when they out together the next day and that they smiling and laughing, look like a happy couple and shit. I'm like, damn. So like when you look at all of that, it's like, man, these are some freaky ass motherfuckers. And you know how Miami is. Like Miami is like the straight version of Atlanta. Like you can't be doing that shit out there. But you again, for Tank, now he need to go find himself like a paralegal or somebody who ain't out there in them streets, somebody with some job security. Because when you working in the strip club, once you get to a certain spot, things ain't looking like they used to look before. They gonna replace your ass, and she gonna get downgraded from Tootsies to Hooters, and that she ain't gonna have no money because people ain't tipping big at Hooters. And you know how it is when you are bougie sophisticated. She tried to make that come up. But yeah, man, Tank definitely need to get his head right and start messing with them chicks and start putting hands on them in any way. So that way he don't be getting himself in this situation too many more times. So who knows? Maybe the next time, what was it? Was it 2 times ago? The time before last? Like shoot, he ended up himself being the victim. And apparently he been off and on with this chick for a minute. So it made me wonder, like, was this the same chick that had spit on him and tore up his clothes and did that thing to his toothbrush? Because I don't think that was his baby mama that did that.
Mm-mm. I think they said that's what. Man, anyway, man, it's fucked up, bro. What do you think about your boy Dev? And what do you think about this? Who you got in Geron and Xander Zayas, bro? I'm trying to get excited for that fight.
Man, Xander. They're gonna need to get a casket for that boy.
Man, they fed that boy, they feeding that boy to the wolves, to the lions, bro.
Man, I forget who it was that Javier Fortuna had knocked out back. It was like one of the last Friday night fights that they had on ESPN. And Javier Fortuna had knocked this dude out, and they had to bring a stretcher in to get him about the thing. Like, man, Xander Zayas, he's what, 23 wins with 13 knockouts, and I don't know, like his punching power don't impress me, and he flat footed, and being flat footed and not really having no power behind your punches, that's a recipe for disaster because then you become a punching bag and you ain't got nothing to keep them off you. So yeah, I could see Boots like dancing circles around us, doing the hitting them with everything. Like the guy's gonna feel like you remember when Kevin Hart did that joke about seeing his dad get his ass whooped? Like
No.
and the dude whooped his daddy so bad, hands were so fast, like his daddy was like, am I out here getting jumped? It's like, nah, this that, nah, that was just one dude there. It's like, oh, well, he must be an octopus or some shit. And you got punches coming from every direction. So, man, I don't know. I don't have high hopes for Xander Zayas. Just because of that. Boots got that edge on him now. Unless for some reason, because I don't know where Xander's level of competition is. I don't think it's up there. And I think that the dude been full of himself. But unless he got like some secret X factor, and that he come out and it turns out like, oh, he's some type of master technician or better than we thought. Nah, you know I I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening. I think it's good for Boots because then that put him in position to because I think he is the most exciting fighter at 154 that's active right now because
Yeah, me too.
yeah, because Charlo's ain't active, so that put him in a good position to depending on what Fundora is doing, fight Fundora probably because Fundora just fought, didn't really take a whole lot of punishment. He could fight. He could probably fight two more times before the year's up for real, if he really wanted to. Because like his fight with Keith, he got touched to the body, didn't really take a lot of punishment to the head, and the fight was over in what, 6 rounds. So yeah, like Fedora could probably get two more fights in this year. So I think Boots and Fedora would be pretty dope to happen. But now we got to see what Virgil Ortiz is going to do. Like, is he just going to be sitting on the bench because of how everything went with Golden Boy and his manager? And what's going to happen with him? He going to have to go ahead and sit on the side for a minute. But I don't know. Virgil Ortiz and Fedora would be kind of cool to see. Um, Boots and Fedora definitely would be exciting to see. And we got to see what Fundora is doing because like one thing I will say, and this is something that you don't see in a lot of fighters. We're seeing Fundora was fighting a lot on the inside, and his last couple of fights, he went ahead and fought on the outside and used his reach, and then fighting on the inside only when he has to, you know. And a lot of fighters, when they've been fighting the same way for so long, a lot of them don't have that in them to where they're able to go ahead and adjust like that and switch up their style. They end up getting confused. And that's something that I think could be a problem for anyone who's facing Fedora because like having that type of mindset where you can pick different things to use and like make it your own. It's like the difference between like, okay, you teach someone the basics of a jab. Like, okay, make sure you turn your hip into it. Make sure you step forward. You got your rear hand up holding the phone so you don't get hit with something coming back. And whenever you bring your punch, make sure you bring your punch back. Don't bring it back low. Bring it back to your face. And make sure you bring that foot back with it. You teach them that basic fundamental, and then they're gonna throw it the same way each time. But then you have other people who they're gonna use it like, okay, they probing, they're trying to see how far away they are, so they're tapping the gloves. Then they might feint it, go to the body. Then they might, go to the body or feint it to the body and then throw it up top to the head. And they find a whole bunch of different ways to do it. Some people can do that, and then some people will just do it the same way each and every time, and they're not able to find different applications for it. And Fedora seemed like one of those people where he can find different applications for the different things that you're supposed to do in the ring. And that's when you got those great fighters like Floyd, like Muhammad Ali, like Ray Robinson, Ray Leonard, Bernard Hopkins, Andre Ward, like the guys who could really like fight at any range, do anything. Like you see that in them. But then you got other fighters who's just not able to do it. And if Fedora keep improving like that, oh, he gonna be a problem. Like he already a problem right now. He gonna be a bigger problem because man, a guy who's his size at that weight, and then he continues to improve because he's doing so well in his career. Even though he said he don't plan to be around much longer, like just the fact that he's able to improve like that is something special because we seen what happens when fighters just switch trainers. They end up all messed up and don't know how to fight. Like when Anthony Joshua switched trainers after Usyk whooped him the first time, he ain't looked the same. Or was it Andy Ruiz? Whenever it was, he had switched trainers and he came back and like just got stuck. Or what we seen happen with Deontay when he got with Malik Scott. and didn't have any of that killer instinct whenever he was in the ring. Like, I don't know, Fundora stands out in that aspect. So now I'm interested to see what he does next.
I was on mute. I didn't realize I was on mute.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Damn, hold on one second. I'm sorry, man. My mind drifted. Yeah, man. My personal thing is, bro, I think Fundora's trouble for any fucking body, man. Like, big time trouble for anybody. And I love Boots as a fighter. That's a mathematical problem to work out, though. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
that's a mathematical problem. That's some shit where man, that's you fighting a heavyweight. You fighting
Pretty much.
basically you're fighting a heavyweight, but not the weight, just the frame. You're
Yeah,
in a
that's
super heavyweight frame at that.
yeah, that's the craziest part about it. And like the biggest problem that people is gonna have is that Fundora don't stay on the inside as much as he used to. That's the biggest problem that they're gonna have. And on top of that, because of his height, he can throw uppercuts and not have to worry about really dipping down with him or overextending himself, just because like when he's throwing the uppercut, their head is right there. So
Let me
that's
ask you know what the problem is? I think the problem is with that, and why cats are going to have a hard time with Fundora is because boxing is so cookie cutter. Because everybody's telling everybody exactly how you're supposed to fight. These guys are so orthodox, and I don't mean just orthodox in right or left, but their fighting style is so orthodox, so predictable that they don't have any inside fighting. There's no real training put on or emphasis put on people fighting up close and inside, because everybody's trying to get the highlight jabs, the reaches, the punches that show. When somebody's inside in there wrestling, people aren't being trained to do that. So that I think that the body's going to the body, and that body work is a lost art. And the only way you're not going to be able to out jab somebody with an 80-inch reach. You're not going to be able to time somebody with an 80-inch reach. When you got a 60-inch reach, you can't time that. You mean you can't time it from outside. You can't time it from mid range. You gotta do it from inside. And these guys don't fight inside because nobody wants to fight inside. That's not the type of fighters that they're trying to promote. They black fighters. Not everybody want to be Floyd, even though Floyd could switch gears and fight inside and walk you down. You're gonna have to find a very, very well-rounded person that can literally get on the inside of Sebastian Fundora, be able to flip his jabs on the way in, be able to get on the inside and be able to work his body with this while still flipping his shots inside and just putting the work on the dude. And then having that left hook that can come over that wild left hook that can come over and land on his chin, but you're gonna have to empty the tank of that big ass dude. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to make his hands low, you're gonna have to breathe hard, you're gonna have to hit that big frame. And when you look at guys that have trainers that are basically at least what other trainers are claiming they are, saying a lot of these trainers are just workout guys. Yep. You know what I mean? There's somebody that can get you in really, really, really great physical shape. And okay, because I'm in great physical shape, I can outlast my opponent. But they don't have the skill set to get on side of a tall man like that and literally drain drain that gas tank for him. So unless you actually can do that, that's going to be really, really, really tough, bro. You're going to have to be able to block, parry, slip, get inside, and do that shit. They're going to have to be able to fight like that. And these guys are not trained to fight like that. They're trained to fight like Richardson Higgins, Devin Haney. Shakur is a variation of that. Somebody like Gervante, on the other hand, fighting somebody like Leo. How much taller was Leo Cruz than Gervante? About 6 inches?
I think so.
He's 6 foot. He's 6 foot or 6'1" because he's taller than Ryan. So I think he's 6 foot.
Oh, you mean Barrios?
Yeah, Mario Barrios. That's what I mean.
Yeah, Barrios. Yeah, that's right. That's right. He's taller than Ryan. I think
that's about a 9-inch, 10-inch difference.
Yeah, yes.
He had to work his way in to that guy. He had to be able to slip shots, block, parry, slide, get inside, land body shots on a dude that has got a significantly longer reach than him. Now maybe Mario didn't use his jab, and he did use his jab, bop, bop, bop. But dude was able to get on the inside, man. I don't know if these other guys are that well adapted to fighting guys that are taller than them like that.
Oh, I don't think so. I don't think so. But we saw what happened with Ryan and Devin. That was Devin's first fight in what 7 years that he fought somebody that had the same height and reach as him. And with that, the problem with people not fighting on the inside and stuff and just wanting to box on the outside, like to beat Fundora, like it's gonna have to look like we were just saying, Tank against Barrios. But the problem that Keith had in that fight was he was slipping to the side and moving back, but like he didn't really slip while coming forward too much. And when he came forward, he was coming at Fundora like in a straight line. And the thing with Fundora being so tall is like, man, you're gonna have to force him to move, and you're gonna have to time when you force him to move. So like, try to maneuver him to the ropes, come up with the high guard, slip while stepping forward. Like if you slip while stepping forward and go to the body, like for his height, Fandora's body is like thin. He's gonna be feeling them body shots if you hitting them right. And so, like I would feel like since he's southpaw, whenever you throw in that jab, if you slip to the outside and throw that left hook to the body since it's right there, and even without that, if you're able to get in close and just dig that left hook to the body, shoot, that's right where his liver is at anyway. And
Hey, that style, what do you call it with the style where people fight like this?
oh, that's the cross guard, like George Foreman and Teofimo tried to use that too.
Yeah, bro. Somebody gonna need a crossbar like that for him. They're gonna need something like this where they can move to the side and they can catch on the way in. Because I think that's how somebody that's Bruce Gas can tell me, but I'm pretty sure that that's the style that Henry Armstrong used to beat a lot of bigger guys, and a lot in the way that Archie Moore used to beat a lot of guys because because instead of having your defense here, you're cutting off that whole middle right here. So where is he going to land? The big guy's going to have to go to the body, or the big guy's going to have to go around. But he's not going to land shit straight down the middle like this. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because it's covering the whole thing like this. So that's why I'm saying, like, people say that boxing, like, look at these old guys. These old guys don't have any skill. Look how they're not fundamentally. Bro, these guys hammering Hank and guys like Sam Langford, like the heavyweight champion for the middleweight that fought all the way up to heavyweight, right? Those dudes right there are they're the guys that were able to beat a lot taller guys. And they fought like that too. They fought in a stance where the big tall guy, they're going to catch everything coming off from those jabs. And they're going to be able to pivot, they're going to be able to slip on the way in from that. So if you get trained in over a long period of time in how to fight somebody that's a big guy, you're going to learn how to do it. But if you never do it and your whole thing is fighting from is you always got to fight from range, shit's not going to work, bro. And you got to have a lot of athleticism, man.
Exactly, and the problem is being comfortable, because like one thing that me and my coach worked on that we tried to instill in people in the gym was like, hey, you got to be comfortable in any situation. It doesn't matter, like even if it's a type of style you're not used to fighting, just the fact that you're comfortable helps you not panic, and that you're able to think more clearly versus, okay, I'm in this situation I don't like and got hit with something I don't like. Now I got to panic and shit. I got to tie up, and you don't know how to act, and you don't know how to act like that. That's what happened with Devin when he fought Ryan, because he ain't used to having somebody with faster hands than they with him or being hit that hard. We haven't seen Devin like really get hit that hard that consistently in any fight up until he fought Ryan, you know. And then if you're not used to that, you don't know how to act. That's when panic tends to set in, and you go back to what your baseline is, and that's something that sheds light on, okay, what did this fighter have as their fundamentals and foundation whenever they started boxing. So with guys who's taller than you, you gotta, like, even if you don't got the cross guard, because the problem with just using a guard against Fundora is, even though he don't look like it, he heavy handed, and he got aggression. and he got gravity on his side because he can punch down on you. Like
That's
literally, he
why
can,
he's a heavy hitter.
yep.
That
So
shit is traveling a long way to get your ass upside the head.
and it's falling. So it's like getting hit with like a meteor down there. So like that, and that'll wear on you. That'll wear on you. Like what Bivol was saying about when he fought Canelo. Like, yeah, Canelo got heavy hands, and like, this shit was hurting his arms, but he knew he had to keep his arms up. And that's why he tried not to stay in one spot for too long. But like with Fundora, you're gonna have to worry about that while coming in. So like that upper body movement and footwork is gonna be helpful, because the thing about Fundora is he can't move. Like he's tall, and because his legs are so long, he got to take a step back, and you got to take three just to match that. But one thing I did notice when he was fighting Keith is that, one, Fundora don't cut the ring off, and two, he's slow to turn whenever you move to his outside, which is his right. When you move to his outside, he's slow to turn around. Like if you force him to follow you, and you go to your left, which is his right, go to the outside, the time that it takes him to turn around to readjust to you, you could step in, get some body shots in, maybe sneak in a headshot if you're tall enough, and then get out and keep circling him, and then keep him off balance like that at the very least. But other than that, you're gonna have to slip while coming forward. You can't slip to the side, and you can't take steps back, because you're just giving him more leverage to use on his punches. So
Pretty
with that
much
one,
like Frazier and Ali. You can't
yep.
coming up underneath that big boy. I hear you.
Yeah, so that would be the key to beating him right now, especially since he's making more use of his reach, and he's not staying there on the inside anymore. Because you know, for Fundora, he's not going to overextend, because he it's not like he got somebody who's the same size as him standing right in front of him. So you can't sit there thinking that, oh yeah, I'm going to get him to overextend on this punch, and then I'm going to counter him, because for him to overextend, he's going to have to literally be like right there stepping on your feet. And his reach is too long for him to have to worry about that against anybody right now. So yeah, that's what makes him tricky. But if you got faster feet now, forcing him to move back, and having to spin to face you like that would probably be the way to go, because it's gonna take a while for him to pick them long legs up and turn around and shit and catch him off balance. But yeah, that's the way I'm looking at it right now anyway.
Yeah, man. It's crazy, bro. These niggas is wilding. Yeah, I got kids. I'm hoping, man. I hope that somebody can beat some Pandora. I'm a big fan of Gervonta, so I want Gervonta to win the fight. But I ain't gonna lie, dog. I like Sebastian Pandora, bro. I really do, man. That dude is gonna be that's the top. That's one of those people that say the PBC doesn't have any young fighters, bro. Yeah, they do. You know what I mean? And also, I'm loving the David Benavidez too, dog. I think those are some really great Mexican American fighters, dog. Appreciate you, though, man. Thank you, Phoenix, for coming in, chopping up with me, man, with the good boxing knowledge.
Yeah, man, you take it easy.
All right, you as well, brother. Yes, sir. Yeah, Phoenix is very knowledgeable, very knowledgeable, very knowledgeable, very knowledgeable. Thank you for that positive turn the conversation took. Yeah, Fandora's a beast, man. Fandora's a beast, and he's getting better. Cool Conflict says Spence will do Fundora dirty for now. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't want to see that fight. I don't see that, dog. I do not want to see that fight. I do not want to see Errol fighting Fundora. I really, really don't. I want to see Errol Spence fight somebody that is a tin can that he can punch without having 80-inch reach coming falling down on top of that guy. Not at this point in time, bro. He ain't fought in 3 years. He's fought one time in 5 years. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to do that, bro. I want to see Errol Spence back, bro. I'm an Errol Spence fan, but I'm not trying to see Errol do that. I think that is just feeding Errol to Sebastian Fundora, just like Keith Thurman was fed to Sebastian. But let me tell you what they did. The reason why I say, bro, look, there's a reason why Keith Thurman had to fight that guy. Just like there's a reason that Jermell Charlo's running around looking for a fight. Just like there's a reason that all these PBC guys are having hard times getting fights and making fights. And there's always some drama, some nonsense coming up. Because these guys are going to make sure that there's always drama coming up. because they just want constant agitation because they are trying to direct boxing to go into a certain direction that they want boxing to go into. But these guys lost, man. They lost, and now basically Dana White and the feds are going to come in and they're going to regulate boxing because there's so much crookedness and you guys are engaged in so much bullshit, man. Rick Tim says, Boots will beat Fundora. I see him getting Macho versus Boots, and it's going to cost him. He will not stay back with that 80-inch reach. He will try to go mano-a-mano, and Boots going to hurt him badly. Well, okay, we'll see. Look, man, you know I'm a big Boots fan, bro. I'm just telling you. Man, if there was ever a time to let somebody go up a weight class before you fought him, it's then. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's another car wreck. I don't like that shit. I don't like it at all, man. What I do love, though, is that the good news in the Gervante Davis situation is that does not look like anybody's fucking jail time. I'm going to tell you right now, if you think somebody needs to go to jail for that shit, go to jail? Nah, I don't think that he did anything that was something where this guy's a danger to the public and he needs to be put in jail. I don't believe that. Okay? So after seeing that tape, I think that Gervante Davis is going to be walking the street. What about your boy Ennis? I already said, man, hey, dog, it's tough. Jaron Ennis will walk your ass down, though. Jaron will fight from the outside. He will also walk you down. So he's definitely somebody that will walk you down. But I don't know if his counterpunching is going to work as well with a guy that big. However, if Jaron is what Jaron says he is, then Jaron should be able to get him out of there. You know? Boots versus Xander. Hopefully we get Boots and Fundora there. That would be great, bro. Honestly, bro, I'm not really going to talk to you guys. You can go away. I know the felony is the kidnapping, and I don't believe that's a felony kidnapping. I don't think that's a felony kidnapping. No, it's not. It's a misdemeanor. The battery is a misdemeanor. I can see the battery, the misdemeanor battery. I don't see the kidnapping. I'm sorry, bro. When they walked away, they all walked away I don't know what they said and why she was walking down the stairs. I don't hear the conversation. And what I want to do is I want to hear the guy that was behind him. I want to hear what he has to say. And of course, you're going to say, oh, that's Gervante Davis's friend. But it doesn't matter. You still got to listen to what he said. If somebody's mother says, oh, I saw this man beat up my daughter, you're not going to say, oh, that's his mother. You can't listen to him because it's his mother that testified against somebody attacking her son. He's an eyewitness. So, look, I want to know from you guys why you guys don't want to hear anything about the eyewitness. Fred Johnson, good morning, King. How's your morning been? Honestly, I got to tell you, man, my morning was sucked. Let me tell you what I had to do, bro. Your boy Fanon is about to be a stone cold sober individual. I like smoking my little herb, man. And in Texas, they made the little THC sales. They made that shit illegal, basically today. So I'm sitting here thinking to myself, man, I had a nice little routine. Don't want to drink, not drinking any alcohol at all. Go out there, smoke my little thing back on the porch, work. I was feeling a nice little rhythm. And then out of the blue, I hear that all of a sudden they're not going to be able to sell it anymore. And now guess what they want people to do? They want to force people back on the black market to go try to find weed on the black market. So how's my day going? Like I said, y'all know that I draw connections. It said we be burning. Yeah, I like to burn. So, but bro, that's what I said, man. I was like, I feel like the universe is colluding to give me a DUI. Like, I just believe that the Texas universe is colluding to have me make a choice. Like, after I decide I'm not going to drink. Oh, I don't want vapes. Ooh, I don't want vapes. But Blake, hey, give me your email, bro. Hey, man, give me your email, man. There you go. Oh, that's wrong. Here you go. Hey, Blaze Boxing. Hit me up right there. So anyway, yeah, man, it makes me depressed because, like I said, man, I think the universe is colluding to try to get me a fucking DUI, bro. Like, for real, man. And it's a business concern for me. So I'm just sitting here thinking, man, God dog, man, I just stopped drinking. Like, I don't want to drink. Don't want to, bro. Grow your own. Yeah, I ain't trying to have these people come in my house and arrest me, bro. Oxsteel, bro. I got a target on my back, Oxsteel. Oxsteel. I got a target on my back. I got a target on my back. Like Gervante Davis, bro. What I did is I just stocked up. I'll stock up. And if I go to Chicago, I may stock up again and drive it in packaging and across states and bring it home. But dog, I'm not buying nothing illegal because I know full well that as soon as I drive down a fucking street with this shit, if I do it 3-4 times, there's going to be a policeman that just for some fucking reason pulls me over and all of a sudden I'm going to have this shit in the car. Or just like one day I'm going to decide, oh, I just feel like having, I'm not going to do it. Yeah, nobody's worried about, hey, Zuffa. Hey, Zuffa. Bro, nobody's worried about you, but you're talking to me. Yeah, nobody's worried about Gervante Davis. But if Gervante Davis thought, let me tell you, bro, if I act as if I know somebody is trying to come get me for a DUI, then I'm never going to get a DUI. If I believe that somebody is out to get me and say, oh, man, we're going to get Martin to make Martin we're going to slap something on Martin's criminal record. We're going to cause him an embarrassment in front of his family. And what I'm going to say is, no, I'm 57 years old. I am not going to, at 57 years old, I'm not going to get a DUI, bro. I'm not Tiger Woods. No, Tiger Woods should have known that shit was coming. The shit is coming. Tiger Woods should have hired a driver. If he had a driver, then even though he probably has an addiction to painkillers, he wouldn't have flipped that car because he would have had a driver. He's got to understand that the inevitable is going to happen. That's why they call it the inevitable. If you're drinking behind the wheel, eventually somebody's going to pull you over. And they bet on that. So if you don't think that there's anybody that worries about me, bro, let me tell you something. The fact that you even come to my channel tells me somebody's worried about me. The fact that you guys set up media campaigns to run my name into the ground tells me I have to worry about it. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? I wake up in the morning and just one day, all of a sudden I'm getting a fake lawsuit sent to me. All of a sudden, just one day, a bunch of channels all making a bunch of videos about me being sued. You trying to tell me somebody didn't try to set me up for a fucking bullshit lawsuit? Yes, they did try to set me up for a bullshit lawsuit. Are you trying to somebody didn't try to ruin my reputation when they took videotape of me hanging out with my daughter and then put that out and said they were weaponizing my daughter to ruin my reputation? You don't think that's somebody trying to set me up? Dude, I'm sorry. I'm not stupid. Bill Haney sends his bots all the time. All the time out here to try to accuse somebody of something, say something about something. Fuck Bud. Nobody makes me say anything I say about Bud. Let me tell you something that Bud don't want. Bud don't want no smoke. Let me tell you, Bud don't want no smoke. Bud don't want no smoke. I say what I want to say because I'm the person that can say whatever I want to say. I can say whatever I want to say. The only thing you guys are going to do is try to cause minor inconveniences. So what minor inconveniences to show your power will you show? You'll attack me on YouTube and call me a liar. You'll call me gay. You'll call me a pedophile. You'll call me a fake lawyer. You'll say that I'm this, I said this, I did that. You can say all that. But no, you're not going to get me to go down a rabbit hole, buddy. Say, I don't like men. I don't like men. I affirmatively do not like men. You guys try to paint me as something, nigga. I've got so much pussy in my life, this shit's ridiculous, bro. I mean, seriously, I got a track record with Uchi that is so fucking long and so good that, bro, nobody that knows me would ever say anything like that. Because my track record is solid as shit. You saying that shit about me is like saying that Mike Tyson doesn't know how to fight. You saying that shit about me not liking women, is like you saying Mike Tyson don't like to fight. I love women, bro. I love them around me. I love them whether or not they are sexually attracted to them or not. I love women, bro. I get along with women. Y'all don't get along with women. You guys celebrate a guy who's in a baby oil with Diddy, bro. Dog, it's how they set you up. They set you because they know you're going to do it. It's called surveillance. It's called surveillance. If somebody surveils you, they know what your patterns are. If they want to get you, they know the percentage chances of catching you doing something. If you want to put Gervante Davis in jail, what do? You agitate him with women because he's most likely to act like that because you surveil him. You know where he's going. You know who he's with. You know who he's talking to. That's what you intelligence agents do. You plant propaganda on people. Nigga, I love women, bro. Do you know? Let me tell you what I got accused of as a woman, as a man. Bro, and I mean this with all my heart. And I'm going to say this in a very bad way. It is absolutely graphic. Bro, I like women so much in the 90s that literally I was the only dude that would admit that they were headed down south. Okay? Dudes used to make fun of me because I was the only dude that was randomly saying, bro, you out your fucking mind. I'm going to do that. Back in the 80s, they'd be like, no, you can't do that to a woman. That's nasty. You're a weak man. I was like, bro, I don't give a shit. I'm about to make this woman happy. So what I did was I learned to make women, and I'm sorry, I learned how to make women happy. And I mean this as a young man. I love women. I love women. Love women. That's my track record. You guys don't like women. Devin doesn't like women. Let's be honest about who doesn't like women. Devin doesn't like women. Doesn't like them. You could even say Tank don't like them. You could be like, man, I don't think Tank likes women. Why? Because he be roughnecking them. You could say that. Devin doesn't like women because Devin has to pay somebody to have a baby for him. And he has to have a contractual relationship with her for his child. That's a man that doesn't like women. No, the reason why you guys say that I don't like women is because you guys send these booger bears at me, and I say no, thank you. I got a wife. I'm not chasing none of you hoes. You niggas in there, you guys invited me to strip clubs. I'm not going to strip clubs when my wife looks better than the women at the strip club. My wife looks better than the women in the strip club. So what the fuck am I going to a strip club for? I only go to a strip club to eat. I'm sorry, bro. Nobody is going to buy that shit you putting on me. That's why the track record works, bro. You guys are just PR people, man. You guys are homosexuals, and I don't have a problem with that, man. Do you? But that's what you guys are. Just because you know a bunch of people that like men doesn't mean just because all of the men that you know and you associate with don't like women and like men, that doesn't mean that other men like them. Okay? You see men liking men because you like men. Okay? I never assume that a man likes men unless they actually show the behavior, like having surrogate children. I mean, any man that has a surrogate child, any man that hires somebody to have a baby for him, bro, that's what women that like women do. They get surrogates. So if you knew my child wasn't mine and I had a surrogate, then okay. If you ever knew anybody that I dated, okay. But you don't. So all you're doing is saying it. Okay? But we know why that is, because you're the mob. You're the mob. You throw any you throw any accusation that you think will cause somebody a distress. You don't actually think that Gervante Davis kidnapped this person. You just want to make the argument that he kidnapped the person for the sake of you getting paid. Okay? Let's not be silly, bro. I mean, they're not secret rump rangers. They are out in the open rump rangers. They are that. And that's no disrespect to you, but that's what you are. That's what listen to this, bro. That is what what's my guy's name? Oh, I never really listened to him. Don't like him much because I was told not to like him. Jason Wilborn. It's what Jason Wilborn said about y'all. It's like y'all are you guys are the alphabet mafia, bro, and you guys control sports. You guys are the alphabet mafia. You're the alphabet mob. I'm not even going to call it alphabet mafia. It's the alphabet mob. And you guys are trying to run sports. That's why you guys, a guy can't say something about his religious beliefs without getting fired by the NBA. I mean, we know what kind of people you are. No, it's not showing, bro. No, it's not showing. My overcompensation? No, it's not. I'm not overcompensating for anything. If you mean I'm overcompensating because all I have is sex with women, and the only people I want to have relationships with are women, and the only people that I ever had relationships with are women, and I've never, ever had any physical contact with a male, if you think me never doing that is overcompensating, no, bro. That's because you're in the closet, bro. No, top of the bottom. No, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do have to explain it to you. Yes, I do have to explain it to you. Because you guys are being unfair. You want people to be accepting of you. But at the same time, you are hiding and you are trying to tear down other people that won't sleep with you. Okay? You guys are attacking men that won't sleep with you because they won't hold your hand like Turkey. Like Turkey. Turkey al-Sheikh is literally insulted if you don't hold hands with him. Turkey al-Sheikh, in a fight card Devin Haney was on, had ring card boys in a private event in New York City, bro. Do not tell me that the Saudi Arabians in the Middle East do not engage in that. Yes, they do. The Saudis, there are people in the Middle East, yes, there are, that believe that men are for pleasure and women are for procreation. Brother, you're Muslim. I'm not that. You guys literally believe that. And I'm not saying that as any insult to you. But bro, you believe that men, you are dealing and holding hands with men that believe that you have sexual fun with men and you have procreation with women. That is a known practice with the people who are paying you the money. They're paying you the money to see men with their shirts off, men running around for their entertainment. Brother, the only reason you say that about me is because of so many of you are that. I'm not in your mob. I'm not in that gay mob. I'm not a member of it, not associated with it, nothing. No, nothing. None of the shit you say is true. How, including you, who claim that other people are into this. Meanwhile, you're holding hands with Turkey al-Sheikh in Saudi Arabia. Bro, Turkey al-Sheikh, if he is of that clique, bro, he's looking at you like a fucking pork chop, nigga. He's looking up you and, oh, His Excellency. You're bowing down to these people, man, for money. And the only reason that you're bowing down is for money. Because Turkey al-Sheikh is bringing all this money. You're willing to hold hands with him and do all kind of things with him. Bro, you guys have no ethics. You're just amazingly terrible people. Weak-minded, vindictive people. Come on, man. Don't make me talk about it. You know full well that Turkey al-Sheikh has you guys holding hands. You guys know full well that you're flying over there to Saudi Arabia, being treated nicely, shown to parties, just like the Epstein dudes. Bro, Epstein flew little kids out to islands for that same purpose. You niggas are being flown out to there for the same purpose, and you're getting paid for fights in relationship with it, man. Bro, don't let your shame be out here. And by the way, Ray Jackson, you 2 steps from taking it. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are, Ray. If they offer you enough money, you'll be right over there with them. And I've heard people say, let me tell you something, man. Look, bro, I have literally heard mafia people say this shit. I have literally heard them say it. I have heard a man talk about men being propositioned for $1 million for them to do something sexually to the man. And the person that brought it up said, hey, man, for $1 million, I'd do it. Anybody do it for $1 million? Of course you do that. And I said to the dude, no, I would not do that shit for $1 million. I was like, no, the fuck, I would not do that shit for $1 million. No, I wouldn't do that for $1 million. No, I wouldn't sell for $1 million. I wouldn't do that for $1 million. No fucking way, bro, am I doing that. No fucking way am I doing that. No. And that is somebody I respected said that. Somebody I respected at a very high level said that. And I was in the room with them. And I know that that was a test. I knew it was a test to see if I would agree with that or not. And I said flat out, no, I would never do that. No, I wouldn't. I'm not getting on my knees for some man for money. Just because you did it and it got you far in your career doesn't mean that I'm going to do it to get far in my career, bro. No, I'm just going to have to suffer through it till I die and hope the next lifetime is better. I'm not saying Ray, but he will hold out his, hey, bro, look, dog, I know the mentality of people in Philadelphia, in New Jersey, in those cliques. I know their mentality. And you better believe that there are humiliation rituals necessary to pledge, necessarily for you to be in that group. And I absolutely, because I pledged Nuke. I know the process of pledging. I know the process of pledging. You have to do all kind of stuff when you're pledging. They got this called rituals. I'm not going to tell you what my rituals were for me to cross the burning sands and for me to enter into the brotherhood. But you better believe I had to do certain things. I didn't just get in there. I had to ask to be in there. I had to follow their instructions. I had to follow the rules. And some of it was very embarrassing. Some of it was very humiliating. And they required you to do it. But guess what? Everywhere in the process, you know you have the choice to say no and walk away. And when you say no to that and you walk away, you pass the ritual. You actually get by the ritual by saying no to a ritual that offends the brotherhood. Because that's a ritual you're being put on by somebody that's bringing you in. You don't have to do that. Just because you're pledging the organization, you also have to know what to do and what not to do. Somebody will tempt you with a bad offer just to make sure you do something crazy, and now they know what you are. Right? When somebody propositions you with some type of something sexual, they are testing to see whether or not you are willing to invest and stay with your own integrity or whether you're willing to fold. And if you're willing to fold, then they can use you and pass you around to a bunch of other people, and you become an asset to them. I'm nobody's asset. I could have been their asset for sure if I had that mentality. If I wanted to lie to you and make arguments that I didn't believe and use every fallacy in the book in order to confuse you and move you around and not give you any real understanding, brother, I can do that very easily. But the problem is I've got a moral code and an ethical code that prevents me from doing it. Just like there's a moral and ethical code that will refuse to allow me to get on my knees for another man and to be subservient to him in a fashion like that. No fucking way. And I don't care how many different mechanisms you try to use people and convince you that that's something good to do. You are trying to convince people that that is good. You know what I mean? You're trying to convince people that that's good, that that's an acceptable ritual for somebody to pass through in order for them to get access to higher levels of understanding, higher levels of finance. You're trying to climb your way up. You males are literally sucking D to the top. You guys said, well, women can't be the only ones that suck their D to the top. So you niggas are literally sucking D to the top. Just like these women that you talk about and call hoes are doing it to get to the top. I mean, God, you guys are scumbags. You're doing it to get to the top. Dog, I'm never going to do that. To get to the top as a way to aspire to greatness, you mean that they got to have dirt on you. Well, you know, everybody got dirt on them. So get a little dirt on you, dog, so we know you're going to act right. Come on over here and do this thing. I know you don't want to do it, but go ahead and do it to prove to us that, you know, you're a guy that will do what we ask you to do, even though we know you don't want to do it. Because sometimes there's things you're going to have to do that you don't want to do. So prove it to me. Yeah, you're going to have to do things that you don't want to do. But that doesn't mean things that you don't want to do are not the same things as things you shouldn't do. I mean, man, seriously. So that's what I see with y'all, man. And it's really funny business. Jason Whitlock talked about it. And Jason Whitlock, I think, is 100% right in what he said. When that kid, Avery, the dude from the Bulls, got fired for saying that, all he said was, that's not righteous. That's all he said, was that's not righteous. Why are you celebrating things that are not righteous? He lost his job for saying that. His wife won't call him back. Give me 1 second. Hey, baby.
The parking. Your mom is out. I'm parked in her way.
I'll get it.
Can you put allow
the
black car into this?
Yeah. Hey, y'all, give me
Oh, you can just. I thought you were finished.
No, I'll do it now. Huh? I'll get you. All right, y'all. Let me get up out of here. Much love to everybody in the chat. Everybody in the super chat. I got to keep a promise to the wife, and I will do that. Holler at y'all. Deuces. Like armpit stinking? Yeah, I know.